Let's go. Richa, talk to me.
Writing a new offer for the same clients. So I'm super
Writing a
excited
new
about them. Yeah. And we'll submit it today by 3. So yeah. And
offer.
shout
Let's
out to
go.
Jason.
9 million.
Jason,
2.9
he has been proactively responsive and provided what we needed for the pre-approval.
Let's go. Let's give it up for Richa. Offer out today. 1.9. Is that the price?
1.92, yes.
Let's go. Fingers crossed. All right. Let's make it happen. Good stuff.
Yes.
All right. So what else we got? Positive focus. What are you feeling good about today, guys? Business, personal, or is there anybody you want to shout out on the team? Dina, talk to me.
Set up my first meeting, loan consultation yesterday. Shout out to Jason. He made it last minute, they were there and I think Steve was busy somewhere, but Jason could come on and talk to them. That's great. And yesterday I also got one more client who's ready to sign the buyout agreement.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes.
Let's go.
He's looking at a low price, but we'll see how.
It's all right. We'll take them all, right?
Yeah.
We don't discriminate. Low, high, middle. All right, let's give it up for Dina, guys. Setting up appointments.
Just to kind of double down on me, yeah, she did a great job, guys. It was the first time she, had a meeting with the client, right, in regards to the finance and the real estate. And like she said, Steve, unfortunately, his meeting was running a little over, so I had to jump in. And I, brand new, she did a great introduction. And then I had to kind of pull off the meeting. I had to go on to, turned off my screen, turned off and muted. And, I was doing some work preparing for the loan, but I was hearing the questions that V were asking and just the dialogue and the talk track. And a lot of it is the stuff that we've learned here, and she was able to apply it. So I just want to really shout you out for that and taking the initiative, because it's a little, you can be a little nervous in the beginning, but you sounded really natural. You did a really good job. So great job.
One more time for me. All right. All right. What else we got? What are we feeling good about today? Shout out. Don, talk to me, brother.
I'm having a good day. Had a contract accepted yesterday. They're going with Zillow loan, so that kind of helps us all out. Signed a new buyer agreement last night with a buyer consult. Putting an offer in today as soon as the wife signs the contract, and then I have another one going in tomorrow for another client.
Let's go.
So
On fire, brother. Good job, man. Good job. How have you been doing with your personal goals, your walks and stuff?
Yesterday was day 30. I missed last Thursday. I was just buried, and by the time I got home, it was too dark out, and I don't walk at dark in the woods. So 29 out of 30 days. I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Let's go, bro. I love it, man. I love it. I do want to just shout John out. I mean, I've been working with him. We've been doing one-on-ones every other week. And just, I think what I've noticed is that since he's been working more on himself, right, the business is now starting to flow, right? I don't know if you see that, John, but I see that.
No, it's all connected.
All connected. It's all connected. And I wanted to highlight that, man, in front of everybody, because you're doing an awesome job just on how you're showing up, your attitude. And you're not perfect either, right? And that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, we all have our high days and our low days, and those are some things we talk about. I mean, missing a day of your walk, that's fine. Like, you got 29 out of 30 days, like, that's freaking amazing, right? But I just want to point that out, guys, is that the more we work on ourselves, the better we show up, the business starts to flow. We become a magnet, right? Things start coming in. And I think we can all take from that. And I'm inspired, man, when I see you posting your walks and like your humor and all that stuff that you're doing, like, it makes me want to get up and go work out too, man. So keep it up, man. Let's give it up for John.
I got a question for John, though. I got a quick question, John. So you've been getting a lead and getting it and putting it in contract immediately. So what's your secret? You met this one that you put in contract yesterday. You met him on the 18th of February, right? So what's your secret?
I mean, we met for the first. I mean, we've been talking. We met for the first time on Saturday to look at homes. Some people I connect with, and it just goes really well with the flow. And these buyers, they're very detail oriented. But they told me exactly what they want. We looked at 4 places. and this one, they're like, it's not perfect. We're not in love with it. If we don't get it, we don't get it. But we went up against three other offers, and they took ours. I mean, it's at 780. It was listed at 820, but it was overpriced at 820. And so we took a shot at 770. They countered at 780, and no, they countered at 805. We countered at 780. Listing agent wanted a little more information about my buyers. We sent their LinkedIn profiles over, which he was like, that was a big help. Because he's like, he told me they would have liked to push for a little bit more price wise, but over 10 grand, they weren't going to fight for it. So, and I think I was probably the most in touch with him versus the other agents, because I think we probably beat out a couple higher offers.
Awesome.
But
That's awesome, man.
what do I do in a couple days? I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. No, I like it. A few things stand out to me. One is going to be the LinkedIn profile, right? The other part that stands out to me is that you were saying that you're in communication with the listing agent, right? I think that really stands to set you apart from the other offers that people have just sent their offer in that did not reach out to the listing agent. And again, this buyer, they didn't come in with a ton of money, right? John,
No, these folks are only putting down 10%.
Right. So again, not the highest offer, not a large down payment, but it goes back to just really selling your client and really connecting with that listing agent and making the terms, satisfactory for the seller. So great job, John. Thanks.
Yeah. John, I have a question for you. When you say you were in touch with the listing agent, what does that look like? Like calls, text, emails, like how many times?
Mostly
right?
text, a couple of phone calls. It's a Coldwell Banker, Misha and David. I've seen their signs around. And he reached out to me. He asked me a quick question. Actually, he called me and I answered, and we had a conversation. He's like, "Thanks for answering." I'm like, "Well, I always answer my phone." When he said that, I'm like, "Okay, it sounds like other people aren't." I mean, that kind of put the thing in my head. So,
yeah,
I texted him like, "Hey, I'm talking to my clients. I won't hear for a couple of hours." But I just told him like, "Look, I got your message. I'm working on it," but I didn't just like leave him on red. I at least let him know that I acknowledged his message, told him I was working on it. I'll get back to him once I have everything done. It was just little things like that.
Yeah. And so I think John's downplaying it a little bit, right? But that's huge, guys, right? Like me being on the listing side many times, when I don't hear from the agent or they're not in touch with me, I lose confidence in them, right? Even if they don't have an answer, at least responding and saying, "Hey, I'm working on it," right? So pointing all those little things stack up to the agent having this perception of like, John's going to be a good agent to work with, so I'm going to advocate for his buyer and try to get them accepted, right? And sometimes we misjudge like how powerful that is, just having that constant communication with the other agent, right? Because think about it, like they're thinking, okay, if I do accept their offer, what's the escrow going to be like, right? Is it going to be a great experience, or am I going to be dragging this agent through the mud trying to get the deal closed, right? And so, and I know John's all over it, especially when he knows he has a hot one on the line, right? Like he's on it. So we could all take away from that is that sense of urgency and this over communicating so that they know, hey, I'm going to do a good job when it's time to close a deal, right? Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Let's transition, guys, and kick it off into some housekeeping stuff. We actually got a few guests in the house. I want to just introduce a few guests, and we'll kind of go around the room. I'm just going to start with you, just really quick, your name and 5-second introduction.
Ludwig, just been in working with developers for most of my life, and a little bit in between with some other companies, but thanks to Enrique, I'm here.
Let's go. Awesome. Welcome, Ludwig. Welcome. How about yourself? Introduce yourself really quick.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nadia, and I've been in the industry for 3 years. I'm currently with Real.
Nice.
Yeah.
Welcome. Brandon, introduce yourself again, brother. So for people that don't know you.
Yeah, Brandon with Chicago Title, San Jose downtown, and we're your title partner. So if you need any kind of real estate deals, you can always reach out to me. We offer, if you don't have it already, our premier services, which gives you property profiles unlimited. So you can look into all the transaction data. You can reach out to me for strategic farms. And if you need anything on top of that, like contact information to contact the sellers, I can get you that too. There is a small cost to that. And we offer a net sheet calculator and buyer's estimate calculator. So if you need that, it's all there for you. We can set up an appointment to meet. I can show you how to use it.
Let's go. Let's go. Welcome,
I
Brandon.
put Brandon's in just real quick. I put Brandon's information in our Slack last week, guys. But he'll be here today if you guys want to meet with him one-on-one really quick.
Awesome. Awesome. And how about yourself, Thomas? Introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Thomas Koch. I'm with Zion Financial Consulting. Thank you for having me, Enrique. Great meeting you, Jason. And so I'm just going to put a little presentation for you guys, about 5-10 minutes to share with you who we are and how we can help you guys.
Let's go. Let's go. Awesome. Awesome. And then online, Ariocha, reintroduce yourself, brother. We got a bunch of new guests here that haven't met you. You're free. I think you're muted, brother. All right, we'll come back. We'll come back to Ariocha. I think he is having some technical difficulties, but he's one of our partners as well for different financial services. So let's go ahead and go through some of our normal agenda. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Ariocha, really quick.
Thanks,
10 seconds.
Enrique, EXP team. Yeah, so I'm here to help you guys with your listings. If you have any clients that have a capital gains issue, or if you have clients that are looking to do a 1031 exchange, avoid any kind of taxes, I'm here to help you guys and educate you guys, but more than anything is just that you have a tax strategist on your team. So when you have a client that has issues or questions regarding that, make that introduction. I'll put my name and number, and Enrique, you can pass that along to the team. Use me. I'm here to help you guys land that listing. I'm actually working on one that have a second appointment, and I don't even know if he knows, but it was passed on from one of your loan people, David Gomez, gave it to me. So I'm trying to land that for somebody there, one of the agents there. And we have a second appointment. So I think we're going to get that listing. He's going to reach back out to you guys. So again, capital gains, whether it's an investment property, primary residence, reach out to me and I'll try to see if I can help you guys.
Let's go. Let's go. Awesome. Thank you, brother. All right, let's see. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Just go through some of the housekeeping stuff, kind of where we're at with numbers. As of today, guys, 18.7 million closed and pending. We got 3 active listings and 10 listings that are coming soon. So that's where we stand right now as a team. Definitely picking up some momentum as we enter the spring right now. And I know we got a lot of stuff that we're working on too. That's just out for signatures, offers out, potential listings coming in. I think Rob and Blanca, did you guys sign that listing? I don't think we've gotten the CAM response yet on that one. Okay.
It's a 2-stepper.
Oh, 2-stepper. Okay, so we got another one, and that's a nice size one as well, right?
Yeah.
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. There we go. All right.
On Sunday. No, Saturday.
All right. I like that, guys. Get that one in as soon as you can. Let's see, guys. Just looking at the inventory, I always want to give you guys a snapshot of where we're at with inventory. It's definitely picking up. 946 active single-family homes as of today. Last week we were at 917, and a couple months ago we were at 542. So you can see just over the last few months the inventory has definitely gone up for single families. Townhouse and condo as well. Our low point was 498 and we're at 794 today. Pending and contingent, that number keeps climbing as well. We're at 561. Our low point was 287. For townhouse and condo, we're at 308. Our low point was 177. We keep bringing this up to you guys every week because I want you guys to have a pulse of where the market is going, right? Because you're going to be able to use this information when you're talking to buyers and sellers. The question people always ask is what? What's the question most buyers and sellers ask? How's the market, right? How's the market, right? And so if you don't know how to answer really quick how the market is and just give them a quick snapshot, guys, you're going to be at a disadvantage. It's almost like a test to see if you're a real realtor, right? Can you answer the how's the market question, right? So let me throw someone on the spot really quick. Shri, how's the market? How's the market right now?
It is amazing. There's a lot of inventory right now, and you know, you can actually go and choose. If you want to see some homes, let's go. And the weather is also great.
There you go. There you go. Right there, right? Put my boy on the spot, right? Okay. Let's see. Let's make this fun. One more person. Whoa, how's the market? How's the market? George, how's the market? Of course I did. How's the market, George?
It's going good. I mean, I've gotten a couple of clients already asking for homes. They asked me yesterday, actually, hey, how's the market? I was like, it's actually pretty good. Interest rates are down. If you want to wait for interest rates to drop even more, it's not really going to make a difference. It's not going to be a make it or break it. So, you know, we can go look at houses or get pre-approved already. So, yeah.
Let's go. I'm putting you guys on the spot, right? Because when you're at a barbecue or you're at an open house, you're going to be on the spot, right? If someone says, hey, how's the market? And you're like, I don't know, right? But you don't have to get technical. You just got to give them a pulse, right? And that's kind of establishes, you know, that opens up the conversation to start talking about more things, right? So remember, guys, it's not just like I just want to throw numbers at you guys. I want you guys to be able to use this to have these casual conversations with your clients, your friends and family while you're out there, right? So how's the market? I think what I'm going to do going forward is just randomly just call on people. How's the market? Just put you on the spot. You think that would be fun? All right. Let's see. Jay, do you have anything to talk about on Zillow today?
On Zillow, well, we are.
And while you're pulling that up, we can also go into mortgages as well. How about mortgages? David, you want to help us out today with Mortgage Minute? What do we need to know today about mortgages? Where are rates at? Is there any highlights or any programs that stand out right now that we need to know about?
The rates went up a little bit, not too much. I think 6.13 average, 680 FICO score. You still get the 5.8s. 2-1 buy downs. I stress that. Use that 2-1 buy down. It's a good tool, and push it.
There we go.
What is
Question.
2-1 buy down?
2-1 buy down. Who can explain 2-1 buy down? Just really simple. What's 2-1 buy down? David or there you go. Melody, what's 2-1 buy down?
You pay a percentage of the price of the house to bring the rate down by 1% or 2%.
Oh, you buy the points.
By the points.
Oh,
Yeah.
We get the seller to give us a credit.
Yeah.
Seller
And what
does-
happens is we buy it for the first 2 years. So, for example, 5.6, let's say that. Your first year will be 3.6. Second year, 4.6, and the remaining amount will be at the 5.6 note rate.
Yeah.
And it's leveraged from the seller. We're using the seller to pay the buy down.
So it goes.
interesting.
Yeah. So
That's
you
one way to
can,
get a lower payment and give time to clients to see how the rates are at within those first 2 years, and not do a refinance.
there you go.
You don't lose your credit. You don't lose your credit at all.
Why would the seller be ready to do that?
Help her out. Why would the seller be ready to do that? It's a great question. That's a good question.
Good question. When the property is not moving, it's sitting on the market and they need to move, you can actually, they will consider that. And if you need any extra work and a lot of things, right? Sometimes you may ask like, no, the property is hot, still I want 2-1 buy down. Like whatever you want, just go up than the asking price because your interest is going to be less for next 2 years. Like that, we could get someone in the contract last year. They had 4 offers. Still, we got the offers with the 2-1 buy down because Steve gave us a number. Like you need to get 20,000 more extra credit. Still, you can win this offer. We went more than asking, and we still get that 2-1 buy.
Yeah.
It depends on case by case basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's different ways of like kind of putting the structure in the file together, but it's not gonna come down to seller motivation, right? Right now, what we're noticing is that inventory is starting to climb up a little bit. So there's a lot more friction in selling a house. So we're noticing that a lot more sellers are open to programs like this. And if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of a drop in the bucket for the seller, but it would help out the buyer a lot, or they make their house more attractive. So as a listing agent, like it's like a tool that we can use in order to bring in buyers coming in. Like, hey, we're open for this, right? And that's a big help that sometimes buyers agent do.
Yep.
Just to kind of add on that, especially on the mortgage side, I was on 2 consultations yesterday, and a lot of times what we have to understand is everything is negotiable, right? It's just making sure that both sides win, right? Or both sides get what they're looking for. So again, like the example they're giving is that we can go ahead and increase our offer so that we can ask for that buy down. So what happens? The seller receives the net proceeds that they need, and then the buyer also gets the credit they need to be satisfied with their monthly payment and interest rate, right? And I think that's a big thing to understand, is that everything is negotiable. I was talking with the client, they were asking me about, the closing costs that I was illustrating to them. They ask, can the seller pay them? Definitely, but again, you got to look at the pros and cons when you're asking for those credits, and you got to make it attractive to both sides.
Yep, absolutely, guys. It's a strategic way to make deals happen. That's what it is at the end of the day, right? If it makes sense for the seller to give a credit back, and that's going to help the buyer, and now the buyer can make the offer and puts the deal together, it's a win-win for everybody, right? We have to remember at the end of the day, you guys, why would a seller do that? What the seller cares about at the end of the day is closing the deal and how much they walk away with. So if we can structure the offer so that they get what they need, the buyer gets what they need, now we got a deal, right?
And at times you may need to bring on the loan officer or someone else to go ahead and explain that to your buyer. And then sometimes you need to bring the loan officer on to explain it to the listing agent as well, right? Some listing agents don't understand how it works. So that's why it's important for you guys to leverage the team in those scenarios.
Yep, 100%.
Let Steve, myself, or Jason know, and we can do a real quick. Now we did one real quick, about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, there's definitely some tools to get up. In regards to the mortgage side, what I would leave you guys with is remember that you guys have them in-house, right? We can jump on a quick 5-minute call, 30-minute presentation with you guys, and we make it very easy for the clients to receive the information that they need, right? And then you guys can go ahead and obviously share the information on the real estate side. Just for time's sake, looking at Zillow, guys, we have, our target is a total of 18. We have 15 so far, so we're a little above 80% right now. In regards to our pre-approvals, right? Zillow grades us on our pre-approvals that we get with them, not the closings, but how many pre-approvals. So last month, our expectation with them was to get 3 pre-approvals, and we did get those 3 pre-approvals.
Okay.
So that just shows, because before we were behind on the pre-approvals, right? And so now it shows that we are getting some of our clients pre-approved. Keep in mind, just so that if they get pre-approved, that doesn't mean they have to use them, right? It's just an option that we provide our clients. And then another thing is that we do have a new rep. I don't know if you saw the email.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I'll be meeting with the new Zillow rep on Thursday. And so I'll get them to jump on, and introduce themselves. They're making some adjustments. But again, he did a great intro with the new rep that we'll be meeting with on Thursday, and I'll have her probably jump in sometime next week.
And then our loan officers, they're all still the same options that we get to choose from, right? With the loan officers. All right. So if you guys have a certain loan officer you've connected with through the Zillow side, build a relationship with that person, right? Because then when you have a client, if they know, they're going to give you priority when you guys have a relationship established, right? And so we want to be able to give our clients different options, still meet our quotas with Zillow, and then obviously if we can get them a good deal here in-house, and we get them a good deal here, right?
Ultimately, just providing the best value for our clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. So let's move forward. Let's see what else we got. How are we doing on time? Let me bring on Ariocha really quick. I know you kind of gave a quick intro. Is there anything else you want to add right now, what you see that's working in your line of work so that we can win more listings, or any tips or anything when we're consulting with these clients?
I think it's just having the conversations with clients, reaching out to them and letting them know that you have a team, behind you, right? With different resources, right? So giving, you receive, right? So by you just, sharing with them, a lot of clients have, why they don't want to sell. I think just asking a lot of questions of your clients and trying to figure out what is the reason they might be hesitant or they're thinking of selling, but just digging that information, and you're going to find out, the answers to the question. So, would you sell if you didn't have to pay capital gains tax? I think that's a huge one, right? So the baby boomer era is a huge clientele out there. So if you're out there targeting a certain area of people that have lived in a residence for a long time, they'd like to move, right? They'd like to downsize, or they'd like to do a lot of things, but taxes is a big problem. And I'll just give you where the problem is with this one thing is they go to 3 different people to find out about their tax situation. First, they're going to go to the realtor, right? And you guys, you're not here to give tax advice. You're not supposed to give tax advice. So that's number one. So then you tell them to go see their financial advisor, right? Their financial advisor is going to tell them, sell the property, we will, pay the tax and I'll make up the money, right? Or they're going to go to their CPA, which doesn't have the tax rate. They write history. They're going to let them know what they got to pay, right? So they don't move forward. They feel stuck because they're not getting the answers that they need. And that's where you need to share with them, hey, we have a capital gains tax strategist on our team. Can I connect with them? It's a free consultation. Everything that I share with them is free of charge. So, we'll be able to talk them through what they're trying to do and give them strategies and solutions to solve a problem. And I think just having those conversations with people, whether it's in your marketing to try to, drum up business, or just when you're, if a lot of you guys are doing, walk your neighborhood type thing after you farm a neighborhood, when you have an open house, I'm gonna have some flyers, Enrique, that I'm gonna drop off that talk about this. So when you guys are doing your open houses and the neighbors come around to visit, showing them, hey, if you're thinking of selling, and then it'll talk a little bit about capital gains, and you have any questions regarding this, we have someone on our team that can have a free consultation with you. So hopefully that can generate some more listings from some already listings that you have in your area neighborhood, and get more business when we're going to come into this peak season of open houses, and the weather's going to be good. So I think that's a way that we can try to land more listings, Enrique.
Yep, I love it, man. Just bringing it up in the conversations, I think, is key. And I have an example too. Like, I got a call from a seller about a week ago from out of state. They have a property they own for over 30 years. And that's the first thing I brought up is, hey, when you sell this property, have you talked to a tax strategist about, what your tax liability might be? The lady had no clue that she was gonna have to pay all kinds of capital gains. No clue. She just thought, I'm just gonna sell and I'm gonna get the money. And so you'd be surprised, guys, that number one, most realtors don't even ask that question, right? So there's a big miss right there on value that you could be providing. And then most sellers are misinformed on how taxes work. Some people still think it's like the old rule before, where before they did like the 500,000 exclusion, you used to like be able to buy a replacement property. That's not, some people still think it's that way. Like, oh, if I buy another house, then I'm not gonna have to pay taxes. And we're like, no, that's like years and years ago. So just bringing it up in the conversation, guys, is going to lead you to setting up these opportunities, right? And then now you provide more value as a realtor.
I would say that's the biggest way to work right
Yeah.
on that. Like, on the side, like, if you bring up like two things, if you just bring up the numbers and if you bring up the tax implications, I noticed that a lot of people are in the dark when it comes to that.
Yep.
So if you just throw that out, that's enough to get you into the next step, right? Which is, if the next step is going to be like an appointment or sitting down with Ariosha or whatever the case may be, it still pushes you along instead of having a deal die right then and there, right? So you'd be surprised if just that little question right there, what that, what conversations will start up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, question.
Do we help with 1031 exchanges?
Yep. We can help with 1031 exchange as well. Ariocha can help with that. We have a couple partners that can help with 1031 exchange.
And let me talk a little bit about that, Enrique, on the 1031 exchange. So we have one option. So a lot of people they want to avoid the tax on an investment property, and it starts with a 1031 exchange, but they might not want to go into real estate. So let's just assume we have a $2 million investment property that someone owns and they have no debt on it. We actually have a solution where they can sell that, go into a 1031 exchange into what's called the Delaware Statutory Trust, and then we can exit in the form of a non-recourse loan. And if anyone knows the answer to this,
break it up.
What's that? Can you hear me? Do you get taxed?
Broke up right at the Delaware part.
Okay, a Delaware Statutory Trust. And let me ask if anybody here knows, do you get taxed on loans? When you get a loan, you get money. You do not. So you can actually exit 1.7 million. The DST actually does a cash out refi for 85%. So we can put $1.7 million in your client's bank account in a non-recourse loan. So that means they would have $1.7 million to do whatever they want with, right? So any investors out there that, or these baby boomers that are tired of being a landlord, they own a $2 million house here in Almaden Valley. They'd like to sell it because their money is, the rent's not giving them enough money, but they'd love to have $1.7 million in their bank account to do whatever they want to enjoy retirement with, right? So we have that option with our 1031 exchange company and doing a Delaware statutory trust. So we have many different options. It's not just the deferred sales trust. We have other ways to minimize tax. So just having these conversations with clients, letting them know, hey, we have a way that we can exit money and you don't pay the tax. That other $300,000 is still invested in the DST that is appreciating. So it's still invested in real estate.
Awesome. Awesome, guys. Lots of stuff there. So let me just make it clear for you guys, right? Like your job is not to be an expert on this. Your job is to just be able to bring it up and say, hey, let me set you up with the time to talk to our expert. Grab a seat, guys, wherever you can. That's your job. Your job is to be the connector, right? The same thing like when you're trying to connect someone with the loan officer, you're not there explaining the loan, right? Your job is to say, hey, we have a great loan officer. Let me have you talk to him. And then they can go over your options. Same thing here. Hey, we have a great tax strategist that we work with. Let me connect you with our tax strategist, and then you can go over all your options and different ways to save on taxes, right? That's your job. And then what does that do to the client, right? They're like, wow, no one's ever talked to me about that. Every other realtor I talk to just wants me to sign a listing agreement and hurry up and put the sign in front of the house. You're actually trying to look out for my taxes and make sure I don't pay a bunch of money to Uncle Sam. You are now more valuable. I want to keep talking to you. See how that works there? Right. So by bringing that up in those conversations, you create more value with your clients. Now you're able to move them forward to the next step, like Rob was saying. Right. So leverage the tools, guys. Leverage all these things. Let's turn it over. Thomas, I want to bring you up now. Right. Because I also want to give you guys another tool that you guys can use. Did you send me the
I just emailed it to you.
okay, that's why I didn't see it. Let me make sure. Yeah, you sent Jason's one. Let me see. I didn't see it here. You could just freestyle it too, brother, if you want to, or just bring your laptop up, and then you can just kind of freestyle whatever you want to talk about, right? It doesn't have to be nothing crazy formal. Let me see. I want to put you in front of this so that people can see you online. Oh, we do this, bro. You go. You can have two laptops.
Yeah, it
today.
says right there that I sent it, but it's called PDF slide. That's your email, right?
For some reason, yeah. Was
Enrique at
I wonder if it went to my
PRG.com.
What time did you say? Yeah, I'm not seeing it. We're seeing all these spam emails I got. Did it go to my spam?
Maybe.
Yep. It went to spam, bro.
Oh, we got to move that. Just kidding.
Sorry, guys. Let me just get this set up in here. We're gonna have to move this to Google Drive. We're gonna go to how do I play this thing? Do you know how to play?
Probably. I don't know. Should be a slide somewhere. Like a presentation button. If not, it's all good. There we go.
All right.
Awesome.
Why don't you do this? Because then they can see you on here and you can
Okay,
just,
and I can just go down and up.
yeah.
All right. How's everybody doing today? Yeah. I gotta say, you guys are probably the friendliest agents I've ever met. This is an incredible office. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You know, wasn't sure what I was walking into today, but no, Enrique, thanks for having me, man. I'm really grateful. You know what I mean? I value your guys' time, you know, so I'll make it short and sweet today. I'm with Zion Financial Consulting. And basically my partner, Manny, he wasn't able to make it today. So I'm holding down the fort, but we started last year. You know, we're a newer firm, right? And we haven't helped hundreds of clients. We have helped a select few, and they're successful. And sorry, guys. Let me rephrase that. I'm sorry.
Go, bro. Just tell us what you do. That's it.
All right, man. This is my first presentation. Okay, so I mean, I stayed up till 2 a.m. studying this, you know. So okay. All right, man. So we do credit repair, okay, and we do business funding for people. So me and my partner started this because we realized that so many people, especially agents, you know, deals fall short because the credit side, right? I think we all can agree that maybe some deals are like almost there, but a credit issue came up, bankruptcies, thin credit profiles, utilization's too high, recent inquiries, old collections, and then it's kind of like the deal just fades away, right? And it's like, well, go find somebody and fix your credit, and they don't know who to go to, right? And you know, we live in a world of information where you can go on YouTube, online, and it's like, well, they say all the right things, but how do I trust them, right? And so, and credit's really sacred to people, right? They don't just give it to anybody. So real quick, I'm a man of faith. We chose Zion because, you know, me and my partner were both Christians, and we want to obviously make money, but we're God-centered. We want to put people first. And so our heart's in the right place. And so, so that's what we do on the credit side. So basically we fully review someone's credit profile, right? We remove anything inaccurate, anything outdated that doesn't belong there. But sometimes people ask me, well, can you guarantee everything can be removed? And we can't, right? So as we do a consultation with a client, we do a free credit analysis. And we're very forward and upfront with them. We let them know that based on your situation, this is what it looks like, right? We're not some magic plan online. Like, this takes time sometimes, right? We've seen improvements between 30 to 60 days, but more complex profiles can take longer. And so me and my partner, we really sit down with the client and make sure we strategize with them and lay out a plan of what it looks like. And we're very forward and set expectations early. So the cost of our services is kind of one-on-one. It's based on what the client's profile looks like, right? So I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
It's gonna be case by case.
Well, I didn't want to like beat around the bush, you know what I mean? I want to make sure that I'm being transparent with you guys and honest. So
Well, let me step in. So just so you
Yeah.
guys know, like, I connected with Thomas and his partner. Super cool guys. They're getting their business started. They've helped out a handful of clients already, and they've gotten some good results. And so what I see is there's a need for that stuff, right? Like, sometimes we have clients that have credit issues. Sometimes we have people that want to buy, but they got stuff on their credit that they need to either fix or get removed, or, you know, inaccurate information. I'm like, man, that can really help us out in some situations. So we had a long Zoom.
We did.
And I'm like, hey, before I bring them into the office, I want to check these guys out.
filling this out. Yep.
Super down to earth. He actually called me on a cold call, right?
I did. You know what? I probably called like 100 people that day, and you're the only one that picked up.
So he called me on a cold call, right? And I've been doing cold calls my whole life, right? So I'm like, man, I got to give it up to you. I even told him, like, hey, you're pretty good on the phone. And I'm not gonna lie. And the reason he was good, because he was just down to earth. He wasn't trying to sell me nothing. He was super transparent. He's like, look, I can't promise you anything, but will you at least give me a shot to show you what we can, right? And I was like, hey, I can get behind that, right? Like, give him a shot. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So I just want to give it up to you, right?
Thank you. This is my first presentation, so I was nervous, but I'm here, you know, so.
So, I know they
Thank
can help
you.
people with
Thank you.
credit stuff, and then they also do, what was the other about the credit fund?
Yeah, so that's something I think agents don't realize, is that they don't know how to leverage their own credit strategically either. So the funding side, so like we deal as agents in the Bay Area, right? You're going to deal with investors, real estate flippers, entrepreneurs. And so besides mortgages, they need capital. So we come in the picture, and we basically help them access capital where it doesn't wreck their personal credit profile, right? It's really amazing. We basically teach them to leverage the banks, get 0% cards from the bank. And like my wife was one of our clients. Everybody say hi to my wife. That's Emily Doak. Yeah, she's here to support us. But married 10 years, most amazing woman. I'm very grateful. Thank you, babe. But county points, you know what I mean? Married 10 years, I know what's up, you know? All right. But so she was one of our first clients, and we helped her because she's into social media content creation. She's into a podcast. So, you know, when people need capital, they're like, well, where do I go? Do I get an equity partner? Well, if I go that route, I have to give up a piece of the pie, right? Which is hard for most people. But also, who do I trust to give up that pie to, right? Or I have to pull from my savings. So we come in the middle and we're like, hey, you can do it a safer way, right? It's not always guaranteed. There's always risk to credit. And we do a full consultation with somebody, make sure you have a game plan, what's your revenue generation plan, everything, right? And so then we were able to access her first round of funding from the bank, tier 1 banks, $75,000 worth of funding. Now, it doesn't seem like a whole lot of money, but when you need capital up front for marketing, for strategy, for advertising, that's going to help your business, right? And money slows people down. So me and my partner, you know, we were strategizing. We were like, who do we talk to? Like, what's going to be the widest net we can, that makes sense for us, right? I can just call single people, but we're like, let's get in front of brokerages, right? So, because we think agents, that can help agents as well. Learning how to leverage their own credit, but also learning how to get funding if they want to branch off and do their own thing, or they need funding for their individual business within that brokerage, right? So that's kind of what we do. And it's actually really amazing. And then you get a whole year. Some banks, like Bank of America, for example, it's like 7 to 8 months. It's not a whole year, but like Chase, Wells Fargo, US Bank, we teach people everything. So you can have a whole year of no interest and you use that revenue. Make sure you're smart with it, right? Don't go shopping spree. Can't buy Louis Vuitton now. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Thomas, I bought my whole family Louis Vuitton for Christmas. No, don't do that. You know what I mean? So, so that's kind of what we do. And so, you know, I came today, I had a whole presentation, but I appreciate you guys letting me just sit down and be myself, because this is who I am. You know, I'm not here to pitch. You know, we want to be a resource for you guys, right? And many agents, many brokerages to come, because we want people to trust us, because this is not a do it for you program. This is do it with you. So the clients, you can trust us with the clients, because we're going to make sure that we're very up forward with them with the plan and how long it's going to take. We're going to be in constant contact with the referring agents, right? So because the fact that you guys would give us a referral would mean so much to us, that we're going to treat that not lightly. We're going to respect everything about it. So that was kind of my presentation. I didn't want to go through all the numbers and everything, but I wanted to just kind of give you a glimpse of who we are, and kind of what we stand for. So thank you guys. Yes.
Meaning, actually, let's say on a personal note, like I've got good credit and I want to flip a house, and I have some capital but not enough.
Yeah.
You could help me bridge that gap.
Correct. And here's the thing with funding that people don't realize. Just because you have a 700 score, which is actually a lot of people don't have that, okay, doesn't mean you get good funding. So you have to, it's all about sequence of banks, right? Kind of credit stacking a little bit. You have to time it correctly. And you got to have kind of diversity in your credit profile. Like, do you have some car loans, you know, mortgages, whatever, right? If you just have, and also the banking relationships, because a lot of people are like, well, I have a 700 credit score, but I have all these credit unions. Well, you got to start establishing relationships with Bank of America, Chase. So we walk everybody through that. So absolutely, we can structure someone's credit profile to make sure we can access that capital for you. Yeah. Did I answer your question?
Guys, right? No, think about this for us, right? Like, let's say you want to invest in some marketing for yourself. You want to invest in a farm, and you need startup capital. That's where my light bulb went off for me. I'm like, you can get 0% for a year. You can fund some of your marketing things, and now you know, 3 or 4 or 5x that money that you put into it, right? So there's a lot of ways, you know, that as business owners we can use funding. Jason and I have used funding throughout our whole entire career to help take our business to the next level.
Is that usually typical, or like the interest rates of like 0% for like about a year?
Yeah. So what happens is after the year, some cards like 27% interest. It is high. So we also teach people how to do balance transfers. So if you're like, hey, I didn't use all this card, but I want to increase funding. I want another card. We can teach someone how to move that funds to the new card. And so let's say you go to Chase and let's say you have one Chase card, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, right? It's kind of a generic, but it's a good start. Let's say you have 35,000 for funding. So then a whole year goes by and you're like, hey, I want to get another card. Okay. And let's say you go to Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is more top tier, but they only give you $5,000, $10,000 because they're like, well, you haven't used all of this card, but you need more funding. We can teach you how to move that, whatever you have left to that card. So then you have 40,000, right? So, and then you're not paying interest in that card anymore. That's empty practically. Yeah.
What about, is that all even, what about points? Is points, you guys that work on that?
Different strategy. So if someone wants funding, that's a totally different strategy. If you want points, you can do both, but you won't get good funding if you try to get the points. So what I tell people is if funding is the goal, let's take care of funding. And then once you get funding down, you use it for how you want to use it. Then we can go the point route. And that's a whole different ball game because point stacking is pretty huge. Yeah, because I know I'm in a community with a guy who's very successful and I'm learning a lot because this industry is always changing, right? Like there's always new rules and laws and everything. So I kind of get a lot of the insights of what's going on and I could tell our clients. So like he just went to Dubai and I think Hawaii and took his whole family and he did business class flights for like, it was like $8,000 and he only paid $158 because of points, right? And so and then we teach people how to like do which cards have the sign-up bonuses. Some cards have like $40,000 sign-up bonus. That's huge. So you stack that, right? So yeah, there's a whole strategy behind it.
I gotta do that too. We'll be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you can help the people to improve the credit, right? Like suppose if I'm showing a home someone and we made a consultation, we know that their credit score is 680. Can you just explain a case like for suppose I refer you a client to get the client to you to do the consultation? Like you can give us some insight into that.
Yeah.
Like what's the process?
Yeah. So basically we would do a Zoom call. A lot of people nowadays just want to do Zoom, right? I'm always open to do in person, but it's kind of easier to do a Zoom because we can kind of walk them through our website. We do a free consultation. We do a free credit analysis for them. And like, we let them know we're not trying to pitch you. Like, this is the program based on your situation through the credit analysis. This is kind of what it's going to look like cost-wise. And then we give them kind of an expectation. We also are very upfront saying, hey, we can't promise everything's going to be taken off. We're going to do our best. And a lot of credit companies, they're like, we're just going to take everything off for you, right? But that's actually not good. You want to be, we tackle less than 5 because we want to make sure we take off the inaccurate and also the outdated stuff on the file. If you tackle everything, what happens, the bureaus, they flag that and they're like, hey, this seems kind of weird, right? So they kind of close it down and you don't get anything taken off. So we almost do like a little less 5 at a time. So does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like a free consultation.
Yeah.
From there, going to the next step, it's up to them.
Yeah, and we have a software that we have that we have a monthly registration with, and so basically we then begin to start communicating with the bureaus, and we send letters. And let's say like 30 days later, you still don't hear anything. We have letters to send like reconsideration letters. Hey, you haven't followed up letters, and so things will come off. It's just this is a process for people, and they have to realize that. Some people think like, oh, I have a credit guy, he's just going to take all my stuff off right away. And then they go to the agent and they're like, hey, your credit guy's not doing what he's supposed to do. But we were very clear up front, like, hey, this is going to take some time. And you have bankruptcies on your file. You have late payments. Okay. And you guys probably deal with that, right? Like, okay. So my mom's a real estate agent and she's been doing real estate for over 35 years. Maybe you guys know her, Jennifer Doak in Willow Glen. But like, I can't tell you how many phone calls as a kid just hearing all the time about credit stuff. And she's like, then she's trying to find the person to help them. And it's just like, and then the person's mad at my mom because the person was schemy, and they're like, you're like, okay, this deal's done, So we, and the way we're building Zion right now is we're doing it strategically, carefully, and intentionally. Like a lot of people who are newer in business, they just want to run around and get as many people as possible. But like, we want to make sure that like we're taking as much as we possibly can. We're doing it slowly because we're not just building. I tell people, and this is kind of big for people here, but this is not like some one-hit wonder on YouTube. We want to really build a $10 million firm here. This is like something that's going to be huge to help people where this is this is about helping you guys succeed. So, and helping the client succeed.
Hey, John, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about like some of the hard stuff, right? Like mortgage, car payments and stuff like that. Like how realistic are late to remove that? Yeah, like let's say late, right? Like is that
Late payments kill your credit profile.
late payments like on credit card or late payments like on?
Credit on your credit card, right? Your credit profile. So I think so. We're still learning a lot, right? And I don't want to give you the wrong answer. My partner Manny, he's been doing this for many years. So he we started this together. He's learning a lot more. So I don't want to give you the wrong information, but what he's told me that it does take some time, right? And so like, and some people are like, well, and so what happens is we can tell the client to do everything right, but if they're doing risky behavior during the process, then it's just going to slow them down even more, right? And that's happened before where people are like, hey, I'm doing everything you said, but we look at what they're doing and they're doing things they shouldn't be doing, you know? And it's like, well, and then let's say we're 6 months into it and their file is not where they want it to be. So that's where it's more one-on-one on what's going to look like for them is like, hey, we're doing everything on our end to help you, but this is going to take another 6 months. So we need to reevaluate. Do you want to continue this or are you wanting to, because our time's valuable too, right? So a one-on-one basis, but I don't have a full answer for you. I'm sorry. But from what I learned from my partner, it does take some time and it does hit the profile pretty hard.
Like 3 to 6 weeks. Like,
So this is where you just book a consultation.
Exactly. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Hey, Thomas, I have a quick question for you. How do we refer someone to you? Do we send them to your website? Do we give them your phone number? We don't see it online.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will give everybody my card, and I'll also, if I can take your information down, if you guys want, I could email you my website. Even my website's on my card too. So
Yeah.
Slack.
I'll drop his contact info in Slack.
Yeah.
And then I'll text it to you, Ariocha, as well.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I think we're gonna wrap up because obviously the credit stuff is really specific, right?
Yeah.
Like
Very specific. Yes.
scenario. We could be here all day talking about different scenarios.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do today was just introduce Thomas, right? I know definitely some conversations are going to come out of this. We'll get you guys his contact info, and then
Can I show them my website on here really quick so they can see it? Okay.
Again, even on the mortgage side, guys, we get a lot of questions on how to, increase the credit score, remove late. So this, now that we have a resource.
share this tab instead. So it says share right underneath the URL box.
I'm sorry, my bad. Share this tab instead. Okay. So this is our website right here, guys. It's really clean, real professional design financial consulting. Fix your credit, get lender ready. Lender ready means we're getting you ready to start doing applications in the bank for business funding. Because what happens is people just start randomly applying, and those inquiries will slow you down and hurt your file. Okay. And then just want to show you real quick. There's my wife. Where'd she go? There's me, and that's my partner, Manny. So Manny is an incredible human being. I'm really grateful to be in this business with him, but I just wanted to show this to you guys. So someone would just book your free consultation here in our software. It'll signal us, and we'll reach out to them, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do that Zoom call with them or in person or whatever. Yeah.
And then Thomas, you had mentioned that there may be even some sort of referral partnership compensation or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Your guys' time is valuable, right? And I don't want you to feel like you're a cash cow for another company. So me and Manny talked about that, referrals that we get, we'll give you guys $500 per referral. And that's not a lot of money. You guys obviously do really well, but it helps, right? So we want to make sure that we're also helping you guys, right? Because that means a lot to us. So I know Matt's going to be running around like crazy. He's already thinking, I'm retiring from real estate. So, we want to make, and we can talk about it, but, we want to make sure we're not just walking in trying to take your guys' business. We want to be a partner together. So.
All right, guys, let's kill it up.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
you, brother. I appreciate
Lose
you,
the presentation, bro. Just talk from the
will.
heart, bro. Just talk from the heart. All right, guys, we are coming up to an end. Any last minute questions, thoughts, anything? How about this? What was your biggest takeaway from today's meeting? It could be about this. It could be about the whole meeting in general, anything we talked about. What's one nugget that you're going to take away and apply to your business, or something, a reminder today of what you need to do in your business? How about that? Let's get a few examples and then we'll end. Melody.
Luxury tax strategies. I've got a friend who wants to sell and buy. She's been in the home since 2004. Don't want her to pay a ton of capital gains, so that's going to be a value add for me. to
There we
bring to
go.
her.
Love it. Love it. What else? Who else? Come on. Give me some examples. What's the takeaway you got from today's meeting? Just one. Just one.
I think
Pointing this
both
camera.
of both introductions was amazing. My knowledge, I mean, I'm just every day I'm learning so much, and it's so valuable, not only for me, for anybody I talk to.
There we go. All right. All right. Matt, what's your takeaway today?
We are not tax experts. Schedule the appointment.
There you go.
I think, yeah.
Just be the connector, right?
I think that's a big takeaway for me, guys, is that really, you need to separate yourself as just a real estate agent, right? When you're going to that listing appointment, remember you have the tax strategist, you have your lender that can help that seller buy that next property. And you're not just going to talk about, the marketing you do as a listing. You're not going to talk about how you're going to stage the house or how you're going to do video. You're actually going to bring in people to go in the system to get to the next stage, right? So I think that's the huge takeaway for me is you putting all those pieces together as a real estate agent and leveraging that so you can separate yourself from the competition.
Yeah. I think I want to just pick back on what you said real quick, then we'll end. You got to remember, guys, that we have so many tools at our disposal, right? Like just today, like the different things we talked about, from the tax strategy to the credit stuff, right? The lending, we have our contractors, we have all the different vendors, we got Chicago Title over here, like all these different people that can help our business grow. But when you're not able to articulate that to your clients, right? You're not talking about these things, you're missing a big opportunity there, right? It's one thing to know in your mind that you have all these tools, but if you're not talking about them in the open when you're meeting people or on social media and stuff like that, no one's going to know how great you are, right? And so, there's that, what's that saying, like value, or things that are unarticulated aren't going to be valuable, right? Basically, if you don't talk about them, no one's going to know that you're valuable, right? So I want you guys to leave today with that, is that remember all these tools, even if you got to sit down and like write a list of all the things you have, right? Like, hey, these are all the things I have at my disposal, and craft like a simple little message. Like when someone says, how's the market? Have a similar message. You're like, hey, this is what I do for clients, right? I do all of these different things, right? And that could be like your elevator pitch, or when you're at the barbecue, or when you're out there talking to clients on a showing, right? You have all these little tools in your tool bag, right? So that's what I'm gonna leave you guys with, guys. Yeah, well,
Just one question.
yeah.
Client is not my client yet,
Mhm.
but I'm just talking to people and somebody wants to take advantage of this.
Yeah.
Can I call and have set appointments with those? I mean, in future, you never know, those people may want to sell their house, but today they are not ready. But by knowing all these things, they might think about it. So is it okay to bring in people like that? Or is it only when I have a buyer's broker contract with
Woo.
somebody, or
100%, right? If you want to refer somebody to a partner, right? Like that's for a different service, right? So like 100%, if you just want to be valuable, right? Sometimes we've done that. We have clients that call us, they're already working with someone else, but they want one of our contacts. Like that's just goodwill, you know what I mean? And those things come back to you, right? And so absolutely 100%, leverage all the tools, just be of value, and the world's going to pay you back, right? Let's clap it up, guys. That's all we got today. Thank you.